Okay, welcome back guys to another Neverwinter video. It's Dedicated here. Today just bringing you an update on requested items like build, boons, mounts, runestones. Someone asked like basically everything about my character, so the best thing to do is just I'm just gonna go through all of it from the gear on. Perhaps I'll start with the gear first. I run the Elemental Elven Assault Mask. I run a Dragon Horde enchant in there. I have the Elemental Drowcraft Assault Vest. I run the Perfect Battle Elven enchant for stamina regen. I'll show you why later. I also run Silveries in all my defense slots for deflection. And this one is Elemental Drowcraft Assault Gloves. Also run a Dragon Horde in that. I have reinforced power kits and all these pieces here. Then I have the Twisted set. I run Radiance in all my offensive slots, and I have a pure Vorpal for now. Getting into Trans Vorpal doesn't increase the damage you can do. A little bit by like 2% or something. I don't know what it is, but this is fine for now. And then again, so an Elemental Dragonflight Assault Boots. I run the Fey Blessing in that. Then I run the active artifact is this Sigil of the Devoted. Gain 100% reaction points over 15 seconds, and you can heal yourself for 3k when using a counter power. I run the Sigil of the Hunter, power recovery. I also have the Shard of Orcus wand and the Tiamat's orb, and it's mostly for action point gain at the bottom is why I use it. And then I have the Baphomet's Infernal Talisman, and these 4 items, my rings, belt, and cloak, I run the action point gain kit, 100 point action point gain there. I also run the Fey Blessing in this, with of course a Radiant in the offensive slot. I run the Brutality +4 and Rising +4 with the Radiant Silveries in corresponding slots. I also run the Demogorgon's Girdle of Might with a Quartermaster in there and Silvery in the defensive slot. And I run the 145 Gemmed Exquisite Elemental Tunic and Pants. Eventually I'd like to switch this to the trousers if I get one made, or just buy one. I run a no crit build. So my stats, I run strength and charisma all the way down. Increased damage bonus, increased companion stat bonus, deflection chance, and con advantage bonus. Charisma is very, very good. Like I said, I run a no crit build at all. I don't gem for crit. I don't have anything. You notice all my gear has no crit on it whatsoever. I'm basically a power AP gain rogue. I have all power. The most power I can get off the gear besides the runic and vivified gear is right here. I can get the most power of this headpiece, this chest piece, these arms, and these boots. They all luckily came with armor pen. Even this has crit on it, but it's just for the 3-piece set. But I run no crit on here at all. This one has crit on it, or I'd like to switch it out. This has crit on it, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's just doing for action point gain. So again, stats, all strength and charisma. Then we go to my powers. I run Dazing Strike, Lurker's Assault, Whirlwind of Blades. I switch between First Strike and Tactics depending on, if it's a long fight, short fight, dailies, mobs or whatever. I'll go through that in a second. I also run Shadow Strike, Smoke Bomb, Invisible Infiltrator is the other one I never change. The powers, the encounter powers I change quite a bit, but I do run Slide Flourish. I don't like Duelist Flurry, and a lot of times I run Gloaming Cut, but it's fun to use instead of Cloud of Steel. We go to my feats. I run action advantage, 5 points in here, 10% additional action points for dealing combat advantage, damage. Running ambusher, 6% more damage for 6 seconds after leaving stealth, and I put 4 points into stamina regen. And the reason why I use the Elven Assault armor enchant for stamina gain is because and I run the 4 points here is because the 10% of stealth meter you restore it when you dodge roll. So normally when I'm moving between groups of mobs, I dodge roll. I dodge roll a lot on bosses. It's nice to get your stealth meter back. And then I put 3 points here, increase strength by 6%. Essentially it's 2400 power. I didn't want to put it here because this all around increases dailies, damage of dailies, at wills, and encounters. When we go down to the feats, I go with Arterial Cut over Grim Pleasure, because this only gives you 5% of your power, your base power, not including Twisted and such. My base is like 27,000, not including Twisted. So it only gave me about 1,300 power, when this is about equal to 3,000 power. So this one's better than this one. So when you come here, you have a choice to go here and here to move on. This is equal to 2,000 power. Again, this is only like 1,000 power, so we're gonna go here. These two is depending on, your flavor, like what you want to run. Lately, I've been running Dying Breath because I like run speed increase. It also increases crit severity by 25%. The only problem is a lot of times the run speed's so fast. If there's a lot of mobs coming around, I'll try to run towards something and miss a dazing strike, especially if it's behind me or whatnot. I do have a few and then it only procs if you kill something. But I have been missing a lot of damage lately, especially like farming heroics and Bryn. This one's really good. It's actually more damage than this one, except they gotta fall below 30% health, which takes a while to get there. This is it really depends on which one you want to run. It's up to you. Then I run Last Moments. I also run Shadowborn, and I run Shadow Demise. And the last 15 points I put into Bloody Brawler, Possible to Catch, Press the Advantage, Possible to Catch, increase your power by 10%. I don't really use this too often, but I have it just in case. And Back Alley Tactics, action point is empty, you deal 25% more damage. This is a Master Infiltrator, Executioner, Scoundrel build. My other videos I was running a Saboteur Executioner build. I love this. This playstyle is very, very fun. You get stealth back very quickly and whatnot, but this actually has a lot more damage potential. So eventually I did come here and switch to this, and I'll go over my rotation soon, very soon. My boons, and this is, I can go through this really quickly. I have Frost Demeanor, Hardy Constitution, Icy Wrath, Vengeful Heat, and Chill of Winter. You can check those out for yourself. I run Dark Fey Hunter. Now right here, most people would go for a Crit Strike. I go for Deflect because I run Assassin's Covenant on my mounts, where 10% of your Deflect, Defense, and Lifesteal is they take away 10% of those 3 stats and it equals power. So essentially this is about 40 power over this. I run a no crit build. Elven Haste, Elven Ferocity, and Elvish Fury. Then right here I run Reliquary, Keeper's Strength, Evoker's Thirst, Forbidden Piercing, Shadow Touch, and Rampaging Madness. Echoing Tactics, Refreshing Chill, Sleek Skills, Cool Resolve, and Winter's Bounty. Primordial Might, Primordial Regenesis, Drow Ambush Tactics, Dwarven Stamina, and the Bottom Abyssal Strikes. This is really cool. Demon Slayer. Haven't used it to see if I could one-shot demons, but I'll use Abyssal Strikes. That's okay. Dragon Claws, Dragon Shadow, Dragonic Armor Breaker, Dragon's Creed, and Dragon's Fury. And this takes forever to get the other 2 boons. I haven't gotten it yet. I have Stronghold boons. Abyssal Regeneration, Demonic Influence, Demonic Swiftness, and Baphomet's Might. Then I run Wave of Force, Earth's Renewal, Blazing Resilience, and Wall of Wind. So my companions, I run this is the Wild Rider. Active bonus, 5% chance to increase damage by 10% for 5 seconds on encounter use. This is I really don't even know how to. It's like Aaron something of Balal or something. It's the Scorched Warlock's companion that you can buy out of the pack. 10% crit severity. I run the Blink Dog. Has 5% combat advantage damage. My summon companion is the Con Artist. I run 3 rank 12 bondings. Because essentially, once you get Companion's Gift, it's like 300% of these stats here I attain. So you times all these by 3, I get those on my character for damage and such. I run Brute here, Sudden Lifesteal. These also have Radiance in the offense and Silver in the defense slots. I'll be switching this Rising Power to I'll probably keep it a Rising Power. I might go Sudden Crit here, but I'm a no crit build, so it doesn't really matter which one I choose to go here. Rising Power. Sometimes the companion dies too quick to get to 10 stacks, so that's why Suddens are very nice here. And then I run the Water Archon. Oh no, excuse me, Air. This is the Air Archon, not the Water. Air Archon. Increase damage to targets not at full health by 5%. So my mounts, I run Artificer's Persuasion. Whenever you use an artifact power, recovery, movement, action point gain, a stamina increased by 10% of your power. I run these, and then I run the 5% versions, the 10% version. These are increased by power when you go to use your artifact. Whatever your power is, that's what these are increased by. Protector's Camaraderie increases your power, defense by 3%, stacks up 4 times. Combat Maneuvers. Whenever you control an enemy, you gain 5% combat advantage. Controlling an enemy includes dazing, combat advantage, prone. I mean, whatever, any kind of control style, you get 5% more combat advantage damage. The only downside is you have to have combat advantage to do it. You can't have not combat advantage. Assassin's Covenant is the last one. You lose 10% of your defense, selection, lifestyle, and gain a combination of lost stats as power. All my insignias here are power ones unless they cannot be, so they'll be recovery ones because I'm a power AP gain rogue. So when we come back to stats here, you can see I have absolutely no crit. A little bit comes in the items, nothing I can do about it. My power is 31,000. My armor pen, when my companion attacks, it is capped at 6,000, whatever. 60% is the cap. It hits 60% right on the dot. It's like 57 point something, but I hit 60% right here. It hits 60%, so it's not a big deal that I'm missing like it doesn't hit 6,600 because it's 110 points for 1% armor, for 1% resistance towards 110 armor pen. Recovery, I have not too much recovery on my character, but that's increased when you use Artificer's Influence, so that's okay. Action point gain, these stats like action point gain, con advantage bonus, maybe control bonus. I know for sure stamina gain, AoE resist, control resist, movement, and maybe companion influence. These all have a soft cap of 1,000. So anything over 1,000, it takes a lot of points to even go at 1%. I've got an action point gain up to like 10,000, and the gain is only like 11% or something. Like, so you want to get this close to 1,000. I have exactly 1,000. Combat advantage I used to run was 1,800. I barely had like 9.1%, so I dropped that down to put points like in boons and such into other things like stamina gain or whatever. So that's why I run stamina gain 1,400, only because there's nothing else I could have put it to. Plus, it's fine. Incoming healing bonus 1,000. A resist 600. That comes from the shard, I believe. Yep, right there at the bottom. And movement 1,250. And companion influence 750. All right, so that's pretty much all my gear, all feats, powers, boons, companions, mounts, and all that good stuff. So let's get into the fun stuff, which is, you know, my rotations. This is the rotation I use for groups of mobs. This where I'm an AP gain power stacking type of rogue. So I'll show you what I do. It's a group of mobs, pretty much. You know, I can show you I mean, pretty much when they die, you move on to the next step, but it's mostly this rotation here. All right, stealth, whirlwind of blades, use my sigil, dazing strike, smoke, shadow strike, stealth, at wills. When you get your daily again, use it again, stealth, attack, smoke, dazing strike, shadow strike, stealth, whirlwind of blades, at wills. As you can see, my power is up to 162,000. Hit pretty hard. And that's how I normally do, you know, group pulls or whatnot. It's just the combination of those. A lot of times things die, you can run off. You'll have your stealth and your daily up for the next group. Run whirlwind of blades and attack. I'm gonna go kill some mobs and show you how I do it when we're out there. So and then single target. If it's a quick thing that's gonna die pretty fast, I just use lashing blade. I still run first strike. Going to use the sigil, just get my daily real quick. So if it's just one target, you can lurker's assault, stealth, lashing blade, smoke. I will it down. Shadowmize procs. Okay, that's pretty much it. If it's a single target, I know in demo, I just did one. I like to run Dazing Strike 2. It helps kind of boost the damage. Things die pretty quickly. You can kind of move in and out of the wells, or a lot more burst damage on a single target. You know, a lot of it too is if you have a really high, like if you run a crit rogue, you can put Impossible to Catch here instead of Shadow Strikes, so you crit a whole bunch, waiting for your stealth to come up. Since my crit's so low, I want to be in stealth where I have 100% crit, so I run Shadow Strike. You can get an extra, if you use stealth, Impossible to Catch, you get an extra 4,000 power. I'll show you right here if you wish. Okay, 52k. Stealth, Impossible to Catch, 78. My brutality thing must have procced. No big deal. But it is, it gives you about 4,000 power when you use it, plus the 10% from the feat itself. Because I run Assassin's Covenant. This thing gives you, when you use it in stealth, it gives you you become completely untouchable and gain 50% damage resistance. You also have 100% deflect. It increases your power by quite a bit. If you don't use it in stealth, it gives you 10% power, so it's not bad. But since I don't really run that too much, I usually run this. So if it's another, also if it's a single target, it's Lurker Assault, Stealth, Lashing Blade, Dazing Strike, Shadow Strike, at will's a bit. And that's how I do it. Now, if it's a long battle, like a boss, you can run tactics. You could run first strike. After you use it, you can run tactics after that. But it's nice to use something that's going to get your dailies back quicker to increase your damage output. So, well, that's it. You can also, there's also a chance, if you want to, you run Lashing Blade and Wicked Reminder as well. If you're trying to do that way, you can also run Smoke Bomb. It's a Lashing Blade. It's really up in the air, but those are the ones I do use. So, let me go kill something so you guys can see how the damage output or whatnot. Oops. Yeah. Sometimes though I use Shadow Strike and my stealth doesn't come back anyway. Let me make sure I have first strike on. So if I'm out and about killing stuff, make sure that's on. I run first strike, takes them out very, very quickly. A lot of the build is based around. A lot of the build is based around Shadowborn. You want to use stuff, you want to be very methodical. Don't just spam stuff. You want to hit stealth and wait a second to use the next item, because you don't want to just hold the trigger down and waste it on an at will, your 100% power increase. It only increases your stock power, not your power from your companion, just your stock power. So you want to make sure your next attack when you go into stealth is the one you want with this bonus damage, and not before that. Also, if you're in Shadowborn and you run Artistic Persuasion, you want to use your sigil right when you go into stealth if you don't have your daily up, because it increases your power. And if you saw Artistic Persuasion and Artificer's Influence, increases my recovery, action point movement, and stamina gain by my power. So if I can now see, don't have my daily up, I can stealth, sigil, Dazing Strike. I'm probably going to stealth, use this daily, and roll to the next group here. There it is. I have my... I kill him like that, and so on and so forth. A lot of it, you know, you get out of combat, you can go to the next group and take them out very, very easily. If I don't have a daily up or whatnot, you can easily just go in the middle of the group and wait for them to come close to you. You can stealth, dazing strike all of them, smoke, shadow strike, get back into stealth. Make sure you do 100% crit while you're in stealth. That's the whole point of going in there. That's why I had no crit build. I want to be in stealth as much as I can. I have to run shadow strike to get there quicker. You also run invisible infiltrator, because when you use daily, it gives you your stealth back. So again, you're back into stealth very, very quickly. And that's it. That's everything there is. That's my gear, my stats, my powers I use, my rotation, my feats I use, my boons I use, the companions I use, the summon one. The reason why I use this one actually is because this move here, Final Strike of Wicked Strike, now shreds 10% of the defenses. This is really good to buff your damage. And all the mounts I use, which is the Rage Drake, you know, Winter Wolf, White Tiger, Giant Beetle, and the Gorgon. Alright, thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, post in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any other, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you have any advice to give, I can make this rogue better, the damage output better. Just let me know. Maybe my rotations are off. If you know something better, please share with the community and share with me, share with the community, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.